What's going on, guys? Loco here, and this is episode 4 of Play Better. And I know KD isn't everything, but since this guy has a KD below 1, he must do something wrong. So right off the bat, I will change perspective to a private match where you will just see me against no one, because I want to talk opening routes. If I play on launch, I usually, if I grab A, run this way up, then I can take people who are running across, or I can move on further, and yeah, I will do it on the screen right here. I will move on further. You can take people who comes up there, or you can take this flanking route down to B. The enemy team, if they're spawning C, has an advantage of you because it's faster to come from C to B than from A to B. So definitely a good way to approach B. But anyway, let's move back into the gameplay. You see him running here, and there comes a grenade and a flash, and he dies. So he spawns back in here, and I like the push he makes in B here. However, where you are capping this from is not a good point, because the enemy team also want to go there. You saw quickly that there was an enemy, so I'm kind of showing which way you should have run, because you don't know if there's anybody down here. So throw a flash or a stun first to check, and make your way through this. Maybe go over here and see if there is anybody, and then go back and cap it. You can also cap it from here. That gives you a way better position than lying in the open where the enemy will have cover. So he moves back on. Unfortunately, he flashed himself, but now he knows that there is an enemy down there because he killed him just before. So the push should have been a little better, but it's all good. You come down here, but again, you cap it from here. I'm not a big fan of that, but you get the flag captured, and that's always a good thing. But yeah, let's move on. The move you make here is actually very good, because you see the enemy firing a lot of bullet, and then you hear him stop. I'm not sure if you heard him pull out the grenade or what you heard, but anyways, it's a very good move that listen for what the enemy is doing, because here you caught him off guard and you had the upper hand in the gunfight and therefore won it easily. And then this situation here is actually also pretty clever. You know this guy's here, and I don't know what you're doing here, but anyways, he comes down and you take him out, and it's good to wait. Unfortunately, you get taken out by the other guy, but again, it's good to wait the situation, because the enemy wasn't aware of your presence, and therefore you won this gunfight easily again. Then we come in here. You show some pretty bad aim, but I will come back to that a little later, because here you know that there's 2 enemies coming, and you come here and step out, and I am not a big fan of that. If you would have lied down prone here, maybe go back a little, you would have the advantage of both of them, and you are 2 guys down there. Instead, you move out in the open, and the enemy will kill you. Right after you respawn, you hear the enemy team is taking B, and your attention automatically draws to defend it. And that's a good thing in my book. Objective players is always a plus. However, when you come here, you make a huge mistake. You jump down here with your teammate, and he takes out those 2 guys, and you get an assist on one of them, and then you jump down. And if you pay attention to the kill feed right now, your teammate dies, and if you pay attention to the radar, he disappears. And you don't pay attention to neither the kill feed, the radar, or the sounds it would be possible to hear, even though it's a silenced weapon. You are right above him, and therefore you should be able to hear him. When you respawn, you again show very good objective skill, since your attention is still at B. However, the way you approach B is a very unclever move, because here you take damage from a grenade thrown by the spot where the enemy was at before. You try and flash, you don't get any hit markers, and you still see a grenade flying at you. Then you choose to sprint around the corner and into your death, and this will get you killed, I would say 10 out of 10 times. If you sprint around a corner to an enemy who is aiming down the side of that corner, you are about to die. So next time, be more aware of your situation, like you show here. You know he's there, so you slowly walk around the corner and take him out. So once again, you get taken out on the B flag, and it leads me to the next thing I would like to discuss. I will try to make this as quick as possible, but let's talk about your gun setup. You're using the AK-74U with rapid fire and grip, and even though this is a very, very good setup, I would not recommend it for you. Your aim is not the best over longer distances, and therefore it would be better for you to have a gun that kills faster over longer distance and is easier to control over longer distances. Therefore, I would recommend a gun like the Galil or the AK-47 because the lower fire rate makes it easier to control over distance. If you choose to try out the Galil, I would recommend putting on a silencer because silencer on a Galil does not take away any bullet damage, and therefore you don't need Ghost. And that means that the blue perk is open for other options. You are right now using lightweight, and in my opinion, lightweight is for people who either are Grizz wannabes who are 360 snipes from heights where they would usually die from, or it's rushers with pretty good aim. And since you are neither of these, I would recommend using a perk like Flak Jacket. Flak Jacket, in my opinion, is the best blue perk, and it will help you many times if you are playing a lot of domination. Then we talk about the orange perk, and you using Warlord. Since I say the Galil with a silencer, I would recommend putting on sleight of hand or steady aim. If you get these pro versions, you can be very beneficial with both of them. It's really a preference how you're playing. That can be both equally useful depending on the situation. And then finally, let's talk about the last perk. You are using Ninja. Ninja was good in Modern Warfare 2, and that silence was good in COD 4. But Ninja in Black Ops is not really useful. So let's change that out as well. The perk I would recommend is a pain in the ass to get, but that is Tactical Mask Pro. You will not take any or nearly any damage from Nova Gas, from stun grenades, or from flashbangs, and therefore, again, that will help you out in many situations. So if you have it in you, go for that. Otherwise, pick a perk like Hacker, because then you can avoid claymores and you can see where the enemy is hiding. But I think that was enough from the gun setup. While I was talking about your gun and perk setup, your team managed to take control over C and B, and therefore I don't understand why you keep pushing the A spawn as much as you are doing. Since you are now having the upper hand of having 2 flags, it will be way more beneficial to sit back and, you can say, camp, but definitely be more defensive around the flags, because the enemy needs to come to you and grab flags now, and sitting back will give you more kills than pushing spawns like you're doing now, because as we've seen through this game, the enemy team is willing to try and grab flags. So if you would be in a position where you can defend the flag from, you would always have people coming to you, and you would be able to get a lot of kills by doing so. One thing I should point out, after you lost B, you made a very good push back to it, cleaned out the 2 guys, and recaptured B with the help of your teammates. Now you again are in the upper hand with having 2 flags, and once again your team and yourself chooses to run up to the A spawn, and thereby leaving the B flag all open for the enemy team. So you will come back down here and see 2 guys sitting on the B flag, and because your accuracy is not the best, you will once again lose a gunfight. The rest of the game is a pretty good example of you not having the right gun setup. I'm pretty sure if you would have picked the setup I recommended for you, then you would have gotten fewer deaths and even more kills. Since the rest of the game doesn't really cover any new areas of what I have already talked about, like pay attention to your radar, your surroundings, and choosing another class, then I would like to talk about the Play Better series in general. This is the 4th installment, and this is the 3rd time I analyze the domination gameplay. So I would like you guys to comment if you, of course, want this series to proceed, but also which type of game mode you would like to see. Me personally think it could be interesting to get some gameplay where your team actually loses. I would prefer the game modes to be either domination or demolition, but of course, leave in the comment down below if you would like to see another game mode. Just keep in mind, if you want me to analyze your gameplay, I'm not really interested in gameplay where you are not trying to win the game. And that means that I want you to jump on flags, I want you to try and plant bombs, I want you to try and defuse bombs. I don't want you to sit back and camp for higher kill streaks, because even though you did your part of the job, it's boring to watch, and it's very hard for me to analyze a gameplay like that, because then it's your teammate who needs to do something else if you are just a beast. So I have some preferred scores I would like to put in an account now. That the highest KD you should have in the game should be a 2 KD. because below that is more interesting to analyze. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys out there would also learn more from people making mistakes than people not making mistakes. So make sure to leave your comment down below of which game mode you would like to see people playing in, and also what you think about this episode, and if you want this series to continue, of course. And also make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out, and more than you know, I think, and I really appreciate every like I get. So it's a big help if you could do so. But to round off this episode, I would like to summarize what I talked about. So make sure to pick a gun that fits to your skill level. And that means if you're not having the best accuracy, choose a weapon that has a lower rate of fire, because that will, in the long run, help you out. And also pick the perks that would fit better for you. And of course, pay attention to your surroundings, to your radar, and listen for sounds. But anyways, this has been gameplay from Wayne009 from the Xbox. He ends up going 17 and 20 with 6 captures and 1 defense. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.